I would recommend doing it at that time, only because in this journey with you, you know, in premarital counseling, a lot of stuff came out that we didn't really know about the other one. A lot of emotions and feelings and all that kind of stuff came out that didn't come out until after.
Right.
So sometimes that can make or break relationships, you know. And so being in the premarital sessions with your partner before he purchases the ring, you know, it really can, you know, help the man and the woman, so that maybe the man don't feel, you know, cheated like I did.
Like I did all
even the one
like this.
Yes, you acting like this. And then also for the woman not to feel like pressured, like, well, I really wasn't ready, you know. I really wasn't ready for all of this. I didn't know all of this, you know. So I would recommend getting it, you know, if you've been with your partner a while and you think that marriage is the next step. Wow.
Yeah.
But if
I always say that couples can always, you know, like, you know, the premarital, and this is one of the things I just want to throw this out here. One of the packages that I offer to my couples is helping them, you know, go through their journey for a year. You know, it's like you have a whole year that I walk with you and help you on this journey. So if you say, okay, well, my marriage is going to be 2022, September 2022. Let me walk with you from this time all the way up until that time, so we can nurture your relationship, so we can keep that relationship in a healthy place, so we can, you know, figure out if it's something that we need to, you know, look into, if it's something that we need to address, if there's something that we need to, get into. We need to be able to see about those things. And you won't be able to see about those in a short term time frame. That's something that needs to be developed. That's something that needs to happen, you know, over a certain time frame. And so I highly, highly encourage couples, even if you're not actually engaged, listen, see about this journey. If you know that this is going to be the person for you, if you know this person that you were trying to, you know, invest in, there's so many layers to this. There's so many layers to this, and so much you can do. And so I highly recommend that couples really jump on board as soon as possible as well. Yeah, listen, if you had to share 5 words to describe your premarital buoyancy experience, what would those 5 words be and why?
Number 1 would be important. It was very important, and that's just tying into the commitment to God portion, which is the biggest portion.
Come on, Jesus, you want to say that? Okay.
It's the commitment to God, so this is very important. Necessary. I would say necessary because in the premarital, you are providing tools needed to understand marriage fully.
Gotcha.
Helpful, I would say, because it's serving as a guide. You know, just answering any questions you have, you know, like you just saying, revealing things and helping you to sort through all of that.
Right.
Sacrifice.
Come on.
Be another one, because in the premarital journey, you know, you have to set necessary boundaries. You know, even then, in that step in your relationship, you need to set boundaries with each other and family and friends. And then lastly, discipline, because you have to make time. You have to, you know, really be disciplined. You know, you have a lot of homework assignments and praying together, and you have to be disciplined enough to set aside that time to invest into, you know, what you're trying to do with your marriage.
Come on, Jesus. Say that, honey. Say that. I like that discipline part. Because a lot of times people don't take it seriously. No, they come over here and like, okay, well, we're gonna do the premarital thing because this is what we're supposed to do. Check. And you do it as a check off, and you don't even take the time out to invest in this time and sketch out these times for you to actually work on yourself. Because let me tell you something, marriage and dating is 2 separate things. There are 2 separate things. And what you may be experiencing on a dating level, it's going to 10 times of another level when you get married. And so don't just say, okay, I'm going to just, you know, check this off because it's what we're supposed to do. No, actually invest, actually do your work, actually read the material, actually, you know, study, actually, you know, watch the videos, like take all this in, because once you say I do, there's no going back. Okay? There's no going back. There's no easy way out of this thing once you say I do. So I always try to, you know, really encourage couples to do everything that you need to do in the beginning stages and prep yourself beforehand, because once again, not only do I coach the premarital couples, but I coach a lot of married couples. And a lot of times the married couples are struggling in this area. They are struggling because they did not do their work, okay? Or they did their work and they didn't take their work seriously, okay?
Right.
And a lot of times that marriage is going down. It's going down. What was one of the biblical principles that you learned through your premarital experience that you apply to your marriage now?
There was 2 verses, Matthew chapter 19, verses 5 and 6, really stood out for me.
That's right, baby.
This shall a man leave father and mother and shall cleave to his wife, and they 12 shall be one flesh, and wherefore they are no more twain, but one flesh.
Come on.
Therefore God have joined together, let no man put us under.
Let no man put us under. Come on, Jesus.
That's the one for us.
That's the one for y'all, right?
That's the one for us, for sure.
Come on, baby. I love it. I love it.
All up into one, just right there.
Right there. That's it right there.
Those 2 verses are it.
Matthew 19 and 6, baby. That's because she had that tag on her chest, honey. It was a big deal for me. Okay? It is a big deal for me, baby. Like, when I tell you hashtags no do-overs, hashtags no do-overs, it's a big deal. It is, look. When my husband and I was separated for a hard time, listen, I asked permission, like, because, I really wasn't never really into the tattoos, and I asked the Lord, I want something that's going to represent showing, God, your promises and what you telling me. And the Lord approved it. He gave me the okay, and I tatted it on me. 19 and 6.
All right.
No man separate what God has joined together. This thing is work over here. It is so much work over here. What would you share with a future wife or couple who's trying to decide if premarital guidance is for them? What would you share with them?
I would share with them that, let's see. Okay, so I come from a lineage of family where marriage is not in plenty, like it's not many of them. Like it's not a lot of marriages. So the whole talk about the marriage covenant, like I was saying earlier, it's not something I grew up hearing. Going into my engagement, before I met my husband, I was a single mother, a single Black mother.
Mm-hmm.
Knowing all of these things, I believe as women, we need to heal and check ourselves and
come on, baby, come through with that
trauma that we have dealt with, whether it be from previous relationships, whether it be whatever you've been through, as a woman.
Yes.
Y'all know women go through some things.
Right.
So I would just, I would suggest that you need to check yourself and just be confident in your own skin. And the premarital counseling is definitely something that helps to do all of that and more. And it really just helps to learn the dynamics of how men and women interact. I learned about stuff about my husband as just being a man. That it's not just him, it's a lot of men.
Like, right, just men. Right.
And so just learning about, how men think versus how women think, and all of those type of things, and how to coexist with your partner and be functional, not in dysfunction, but functional.
Right.
And all of that stuff, I just think that it's definitely a huge investment. And I would just encourage anybody that has been through something, Black women really have really been through, especially single moms. Like I was a single mama, so that's one thing.
Right.
After getting married, I've gotten a lot of feedback from friends. Like, well, what's the secret? Like,
right?
What did you do? Like, how did you go from this to that?
She is that's what she did.
Doing the work,
right?
And starting with, like Miss Tanika said, with myself, I had to deal with trauma, and before I even did premarital counseling, I had to deal with my trauma and try to get myself together.
Right.
Preparation, for even becoming a fiance.
Right.
And then working on what that means, how to become a wife.
Right.
So I would strongly encourage that to anyone.
That's that her Buoyancy Boost that she is talking about there. Now her Buoyancy Boost, if you go to Coach T's his wife Buoyancy Boost page, listen, that's what that's about. It's the healing for me, honey. It is the healing for me.
It's the
like
healing.
I said earlier, one thing that I seen her, like I use her poster board to this day and share with other clients. And I always tell them, this young lady right here, She had a plan. She had a plan. Everything that she had on this vision board came to pass. Do you hear me? Even my son and his girlfriend just recently, they was doing a vision board, and I told them, like, don't play with the vision board. Like, don't sleep on this vision board, because you put it on there, it's gonna come to pass. And I seen that with you. I seen that, and you were so hungry for that healing. You were so hungry for that change. You were hungry for it, and I think that makes a huge difference. So many people be like laggagging, kind of like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, I want healing and I want help, and then it's like, but I don't. It's like, are you really, really, willing to do the necessary work to see the changes and see the results that you want? When I tell you this young lady did that, she did that. Every time I salute you. To this day, I use your video, I use your vision board, I use your pictures to share with my other clients on making sure that they are, really invested into this time. And so I'm so glad you did that and pointed that part out. Look.
Thank you, Miss Tanika. It's all you too now.
Come on, Jesus. That was the Lord. He helped me. Listen.
You helped me.
Let me share this story with you. When I was doing the premarital sessions with her and her husband now, I would say, she was like, Miss Tanika, how you know all this stuff? Like, how you be knowing all this stuff? I'm like, Miss Tanika always been like this. I know this stuff because I walked through this stuff and I had to deal with this stuff myself. So I know exactly what you got going on.
Yeah.
And, I just really appreciate that time I had with them and enjoyed just being able to pour into them and them being so teachable. They was allowing me to teach them, and it was really taking in what I shared with them. And I think that's important as well. That's so, so very important.
Yeah.
Let me see. I have another question for you. Would you put a price tag on your marital journey, or do you feel the investment is worth the price? Explain.
So I definitely feel like it's definitely worth the investment. I mean, it's a lifetime commitment you're making. So to invest into that and to just get, like I said in the beginning, to get a glimpse into what you're about to get into it's an investment in itself. One thing that I've taken from this experience is like today and me being on this live, I want to tell people my story and because I've been like how you saying, it's like, and I don't know if we've been through the same stuff, but I definitely have been
through some similarities.
Definitely some things. Right. And when you come through all of that stuff, you want to help, your loved ones,
that's right,
you and your friends, and you want to help them get to that too.
That's right.
And I just feel like, me personally, I don't mind sharing that with anybody that's hungry, like you saying, and want to learn, because at the end of the day, it's what God wants and intended for men and women. And in our community, unfortunately, money can be an issue. So I would never just turn away somebody for not having the money to necessarily take it. But I would definitely encourage you, if you do have it, it's definitely something to invest in. There are people like myself, that want to help people, and you can ask as many questions as you want, or just to be transparent and tell your story. I think it's important that we spread that, because like you said, so many failed marriages and so many entanglements and stuff that don't go anywhere because people don't know. So it's definitely an investment. It's definitely worth it. If you can, please do it. If you can't, find somebody that was willing to help you and
willing to talk to you and have that one-on-one with you and disciple and work with you on that. Yeah,
because it is needed.
Listen, and it's important too. It's important too, not only with the with the price, because there are levels to it. It's how of it that you want. What are you looking for? What is it that you necessary that you need? Because everybody don't need the same thing. Everybody's on different levels, so everybody don't necessarily need the same things. But I do believe that people have to make a decision and don't come in looking at, oh, well, how much is it gonna be, or how much is it gonna cost, or how much is it gonna be. No, it's either this or spending the rest of your life a certain kind of way, and then you end up still having to spend money on that side because you didn't invest. Now you done got married to this person. Now you end up spending more money when you would have invested ahead of time. You want to have to probably spend as much money. So you got to look at the whole picture. You have to look at the whole picture, but definitely find what level works for you. Definitely find what level works for you. Listen, last question before I let you go. Would you recommend Buoyancy premarital and marital life coaching services to others?
Oh, most definitely. I most definitely would. Miss Tanika has been a complete life changer.
Complete.
I mean, really completes. I mean, because like I said, I went to you for just that self healing,
Right?
and then I think we had like a relationship
Relationship
rescue
rescue.
course,
Yep.
and then we went through the premarital counseling.
Yep.
So
Mhm.
I am buoyancy
Listen,
all over.
come on, Jesus,
You know?
say that.
Because yes, you really have helped me and my husband now. So
Come on, Jesus.
definitely,
Absolutely. Listen, this was awesome, awesome, awesome. I am so glad you got a chance to come on here and share your story and talk to the people. Like, so many people need to hear this. Like, people need to know. Like, this thing is for real.
It's for real, Miss Nika.
It's for real. It is work in this thing. What would be your closing
even after? That's what I told you when I seen you recently. Like, I still want to come back to you even after the marriage. Like,
come on.
Marital follow up.
Yes.
I don't know.
Those are important too. I tell couples all the time, make sure you do your marital check-ins. Just like you was talking about that, with the gas running out and the maintenance on the car, it's important that you keep the maintenance up on your marriage. Because if you don't, it's going to go it's going to go down. Yes. It's important that couples do that, and you need to know what works for you. Some people can do it every 3 months. Some people can do it every 6 months. Some people can do it once a year. But whatever works for you, it's definitely worth the investment. Like, don't put your marriage out there like, okay, well, we married now, we good, everything this and that. No, like y'all still, y'all date. Keep doing those things. Those things are healthy. You want to keep the marital relationship healthy. It's so very important.
Yes,
very important. What would be your closing words for the people as we close up?
Go sign up for Miss Tanika today.
Hey!
If you're in a relationship or if you're not in a relationship and you are a Black single woman like myself, I'm sorry, I shouldn't keep saying Black because it's not. Black, white, pink, purple, orange. No matter what color.
Whatever. Okay.
Women. That is who she caters to, especially, I just healing the woman and helping the woman to become the wife that you deserve to be, the wife that God intended for you to be. I would definitely say reach out to Miss Tanika. She is amazing. She is really transparent and honest, and that's what I love about the process. How transparent you were, and just you just was just pleasant. Just all
with the black. Come on,
just pleasant. And then even though she pleasant, y'all, she will get on you too. Like, make sure you're doing your homework. Make sure you being right to your husband,
right,
to your wife. I love that about the whole process. So,
come on, Jesus. What is right? Listen. www.marriagechroniclesbytanika.com. I'm going to also put it in the bottom of this video as well for you guys to sign up. You can go on my webpage to sign up at www.marriagechroniclesbytanika.com. Listen, tell your husband I said hello.
He is watching.
Hello, sir. Hello. Listen, congratulations to you guys again. I pray for God's blessings over your marriage.